Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Cobern, and today's episode is the top 5 sleepers in the 2018 NFL Draft Class based on analytics. And the 3 analytics we're going to be using, if you haven't seen the last show, is we're going to be using production, which takes passing yardage market share production, which is essentially the percentage of the passing yardage market share or passing yardage offense. So essentially, if you take a wide receiver who had 1,000 yards in a season and you divide it by the team passing yardage, which say is 4,000, that wide receiver had 25% market share. But you take that number and you compare it to every single wide receiver since the 1969 NFL Draft Class, and now you're cooking with gas, people. You're able to compare wide receivers to past players who are very, very successful. And that's the main thing about production and why it's in this grading, is because it's so influential, it's so impactful, and so important and meaningful when it comes to figuring out who actually has a very good chance of becoming a very high quality player at the next level. The second part is age. Age is very important because it speaks to things like upside, breakout potential, all that kind of stuff. The best wide receivers over the last 40 seasons since the 1969 NFL Draft Class, were players that were typically younger than their peers. So we're going to be looking at players, and that's going to be part of the system, is, who's a young player? Who are some guys that have fairly youngness to their game? And then we're also, lastly, going to be looking at athleticism, specifically the speed score. Based on NFLDraftScout.com, they actually report 40-yard dashes earlier. Now, these aren't the set in stone 40-yard dashes by any means. I mean, the combine really is going to be the last number to use. The most viable, most reliable number to use was what they actually do at their pro day or what they do at their combine. But at least as a preliminary grade, we can at least look at what their speed score is based on what NFL Draft Scout is reporting so far. And that's going to throw into the scores as well. If they have an above average speed score, they get extra point. If they have a below average speed score, they don't get an extra point. And now let's get to the list. At number 5, we have Jordan Zimmerman, wide receiver out of Oregon State. When it comes to his height and weight, he's 6'3", 220 pounds, according to NFL Draft Scout. Fortunately, didn't do a 40-yard dash. At least NFL Draft Scout doesn't have a 40-yard dash for him right now. But that's where we're standing when it comes to height and weight. But the reason he's number 5 in this list is because of his production and because of his age. His production score is 79.16 out of 100, which is very impressive when it comes to almost hitting 3-time All-Pro level when it comes to his production. And when it comes to his age, he has a 91.23 overall age score, which is impressive as well. So he has all the traits that you want in terms of just size and production and age. And realistically, this is the year. This is the year for Jordan Zimmerman. If he could break out this year, become a much more impactful player in that Oregon State offense, or he doesn't and kind of remains what he's been, which has been kind of injured and kind of inconsistent in terms of a lot of different things to his game. But there's no denying the talent that he has, the size that he has, and the overall upside potential that he has based on his production and based on his age. Because we don't have a speed score, that's most of the reason why he's number 5 in this list, but at the very least, his production and his age is high enough to put him at number 5 on this list. At number 4, we have Simmie Cobbs Jr., wide receiver out of Indiana. When it comes to height and weight, he is 6'3", 220 pounds with a 4.5 240, according to NFLDraftScout.com. Based on his production, he scored 56.87 out of 100, which doesn't hit high quality outcomes yet, doesn't really hit 3-time Pro Bowl level, 5-time Pro Bowl level, or multiple All-Pro level, but he's almost there. I mean, he's a sleeper on this list because he could have a very big season this year and bump himself up into that echelon. Also, when it comes to his speed score, he has an 80.60 overall speed score, which is very impressive when it comes to just his athletic ability. We'll have to wait to see what his vertical and broad jump are, and his short shuttle and 3-cone, there's some other sort of things like that. But Simmie Cobbs Jr. is a sleeper, and why he's number 4 on this list is because of that production. If he comes out this year and has a much better season when it comes to production and becomes much more impactful, which he should be based on just his height, weight, and physical ability when it comes to speed. If he does that, he'll rise amongst many people in this draft class. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. But he is a sleeper on this list because of those commonalities, because of his height, because of his weight, because of his speed, because of his other sort of traits and potential, is why he is number 4 on this list. At number 3, we have Antonio Callaway, wide receiver out of Florida. And I know what some of you are thinking. He's not a sleeper. He's ranked 5th or 10th or, wherever he's ranked right now, which is kind of 5th wide receiver. So yeah, he's not necessarily a sleeper, but he should be a sleeper, and this is the main reason why. Is based on height and weight. He's 5'11", 197 pounds with a 4.4 640. But based on his production, he only scored 63.14 out of 100, which is not 3-time Pro Bowl level, not 5-time Pro Bowl level, and not All-Pro level when it comes to his market share production. He has a good overall speed score of a 77.07 speed score, which is impressive. And he is a fairly young player as well from Florida. But the bottom line is this is someone who should be more of a sleeper than a guy who's a finished product. He's not necessarily overrated. He's not to that point when it comes to rankings. But he is someone that you should be viewing more as a guy who needs to break out this season to rank higher on your board than a guy that should already be high on your board, if that makes any sense. So he's the number 3 sleeper because of that simple fact that he just hasn't broke out yet. And by the way, this production is adjusted for the games that he missed at Florida this year. So this isn't like, oh, well, he missed games and you did this wrong. No, this is based on his passing yards market share production, based on the games he's missed. So this adjusts for the games that he missed. But bottom line is Antonio Callaway is an impressive player when it comes to speed. And at the point now where production-wise, if he has a very big season and improves in these numbers, he can rise a bit and get into that top 5 discussion. But until he does that, until he has a big season, he's a sleeper, and that is why he's number 3 on this list. At number 2, we have Malik Turner, wide receiver out of Illinois. When it comes to height and weight, he's 6'2", 205 pounds, which is not incredibly impressive, but decent. Based on his production, he scored 80.41 out of 100, which is 3-time All-Pro level. And based on his age score, he's 97.15 out of 100. So he's going to be very young. He's very productive. I don't have a speed score because NFL Draft Scout does not have a speed score on him, does not have a 40-yard dash, if you will, hasn't reported one yet. But there are tons of positives to Malik Turner based on his production, based on his age. His film isn't bad either. Everybody was going crazy over Zay Jones, and with good reason, but Malik Turner has the potential, guys, of being a Zay Jones-like wide receiver. He's already shown that he can be a top wide receiver at Illinois, a team that had a kind of average to below average quarterback in Wes Lunt for many seasons. Wes Lunt is gone. New sheriff in town, new sort of stuff for Malik Turner, and I think this is the year that Malik Turner actually shows his ability to become a guy that should be considered one of the better wide receivers in the 2018 NFL Draft class, based on his production and based on his age, and that is why he is number 2 on this list. And number 1 is Anthony Miller Jr., wide receiver out of Memphis. Based on his height and weight, he's 5'11", 190 pounds with a 4.5 340 according to NFLDraftScout.com. The reason he's number 1 on this list is because of production and because of age. Based on his production, he has an 84.56 overall total passing yards market share production score, which hits 3-time All-Pro level, and this could be a year where he actually improves to 5-time, basically hit that sort of special area of passing yards market share production of 85 or higher. So this is another reason why he's on this list, is that he's already very good and he has potential to be even better. Based on his age score as well, he has a 94.21 overall age score. He's a very young player. On top of, the only real issue is his speed score, has a 41.28 overall speed score based on his height and weight. He may need to show things like the vertical and the broad jump or the short shoulder and the 3-cone to kind of show some different things with Anthony Miller Jr. But the bottom line is when you look at his production, almost hitting 5-time All-Pro level, you see his age score, which is 94.21 out of 100, which is at least at a level where good things can continue with him. At least he hasn't maxed out, if you will, in terms of his potential. And then you look at his speed score, which isn't great, but there's also other aspects to his game that could help him out to improve on this. You know, you could have a really good vertical, could have a very good short shoulder 3 count to kind of bump him up a bit. But the bottom line is Anthony Miller Jr. has all the positive indicators of someone that should be ranked a lot higher than he currently is. And in many ways, if he has the type of season that I think he can have this year, I think you're looking at a wide receiver that people are going to be talking about a lot higher than they already are now. And that is why he's the #1 sleeper on this list. We've come to the end of the top 5 sleepers for the 2018 NFL Draft Class, according to Analytics. My name is James Cobern. You can follow my work at draftcober.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, guys, when you hit that like button. Do it. Hit that like button. And also share this video with anybody that you know as well. And we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.